My name is Ella Morgan, and for as long as I can remember, my existence barely registered in my parents' eyes. To them, I was background noise, while my younger sister, Chloe, was treated like royalty. She was the golden child, adored and pampered, while I was little more than unpaid help. At every holiday and family gathering, the pattern never changed. Chloe would sparkle in the center of attention, smiling and basking in everyone's admiration, while I stayed in the shadows, cooking, cleaning, and serving. Last Christmas Eve was when something inside me finally broke. My mother, Evelyn, barged into my room, her eyes burning with irritation. "Ella, get to the kitchen. Tomorrow we're hosting 25 of Chloe's friends. You'll prepare the food, serve it, and clean everything. Don't embarrass us." I froze. 25 guests with less than a day's notice? When I hesitated, she snapped, "Stop whining. This is your job. Chloe entertains, you handle the rest." I wanted to shout back, to remind her I wasn't a servant, but as always, I swallowed my anger. For 15 years I had lived this way. Invisible, unappreciated, a shadow trailing behind my sister's spotlight. But fate had a twist waiting. Months later, my parents announced an important dinner, one they believed could shape Chloe's future. "Lucas Hawley is coming," my father said with pride. The name jolted me. Lucas Hawley wasn't just any CEO. He was a billionaire, a man of influence, someone my parents could only dream of impressing. My mother practically melted with excitement. "Chloe, this is your opportunity," she gushed. "Make him notice you." Then, her gaze cut to me. "Ella, you'll handle everything in the background, food, wine, atmosphere. Stay out of sight." I almost laughed. They had no idea. Lucas Hawley wasn't just some powerful stranger to me. He was my investor. The very startup they mocked and dismissed had recently been funded by Lucas himself. The irony was delicious. When the evening arrived, Chloe wore a stunning blue dress, hair styled to perfection, her smile rehearsed like a performance. I chose a simple black dress, sleek, elegant, and understated. Confidence my only accessory. My mother's eyes narrowed. "Why are you dressed like that?" "I've already taken care of everything," I replied smoothly. "And I hired caterers for the final touches." Her face froze. "Caterers? Who gave permission for that?" "I did. And I paid for it," I answered calmly. She opened her mouth but nothing came out. The doorbell rang, saving me from her protests. Lucas Hawley entered, exuding quiet authority that filled the room. My parents rushed forward, falling over themselves with greetings. Chloe glided to his side, ready to charm. "Mr. Hawley, welcome," my father beamed. "This is our daughter Chloe, very talented." But Lucas didn't look at Chloe. His eyes found me instead. "There you are, boss." The words cracked like thunder. Chloe blinked in confusion. "Boss? You mean her?" Lucas smiled. "Of course. Ella and I have been working together on a project. She's brilliant, unstoppable. The real deal." I met his gaze, steady and unshaken. For the first time, I wasn't invisible. I was being seen. My parents' jaws dropped. Chloe's perfect smile faltered. "Lucas," my mother stammered. "No need," he interrupted. "I'm here for Ella. She's leading the project, and it's extraordinary." The rest of the night was mine. Lucas directed every conversation toward me, asking for my insights, laughing about our work, praising my strategies. Each time he said boss, I could feel the ground shifting beneath my parents' pride. Chloe made a desperate attempt. "I could intern at your company, maybe?" Lucas barely spared her a glance. "Ella oversees that. If she recommends you, we'll consider it. She's in charge." Chloe's cheeks burned crimson. My parents sank deeper into silence, their dream unraveling before them. By the end of the evening, the family dynamic had flipped completely. The daughter they treated as a servant was now the one holding real power. When Lucas finally left, he shook my hand firmly. "See you Monday, boss. Big things ahead." "I'm looking forward to it," I replied. The door closed. My mother's face twisted with disbelief. "Why didn't you tell us you were successful?" I looked at her evenly. "Would it have mattered? You never cared about me. You only cared about Chloe shining." My father whispered almost in awe. Now we see who the real star is. No, I corrected. You just see what you ignored. I never wanted to outshine Chloe. I only wanted respect. To be seen. Tonight you finally saw me. As I walked out, each step across the marble floor echoed with truth. I was no longer invisible. No longer their servant. I was the boss. Never underestimate the quiet one you dismiss. Power shifts quickly, and the girl you thought was beneath you may one day rise high enough to leave you in her shadow.